from the WHO Traffic Center.
Westbound on 8035, 12 minutes from the East Mixmaster to the West Mix, 235-7 from either Mixmaster to downtown, and no issues in Ankeny I-35 with Des Moines' most frequent traffic all day on News Radio 1040 WHO. I'm Nathan Fisher.
This report is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
Homeowners, would you like to save on your monthly payments? Mortgage rates have been dropping. Visit rocketmortgage.com today to see what you could save. Call 800-863-4333 for cost information and conditions. Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Fall isn't here yet, with heat index values in the low to mid-90s Friday through Sunday, where we could see near record high temperatures. Today sunny with a high of 83. Tonight clear, the low 60. Tomorrow sunny and a high of 87. And Friday sunny with a high of 91. That's the WHO weather. I'm Jamie Grouse.
11:35 on a big show clock, being brought to you by the Iowa Agriculture Water Alliance. Clean water in Iowa starts right here. You bet it does. Carrie Seidel with Hertz Farm Management will be joining us here in just about 4 minutes or so. Going to be talking about some clean water projects and working with landowners interested in conservation. I'm going to talk with Carrie coming up. Right now, though, we're starting off this half hour with Brian Hoops, Midwest Market Solutions, and Brian is our market analyst of the day. Hey, Brian, quick look at the marketplace. Corn kind of quiet, soybeans down 4 or 5 cents. What's moving the market?
Yeah, quiet is an understatement, I think, for these markets. You look at the corn, including the overnight session, we have a 3-cent trading range today. So I think the volume yesterday was one of the worst we've had for all of calendar 2025, and today's volume might even be slower. And, you know, it's that time of year where we're kind of caught in between not having a lot of news except for some harvest data that trickles in. Then you have the USDA numbers coming out on Friday. So just nobody really wants to take on a lot of these new positions. USDA really surprised people last month by putting out that yield number of, I think it was 189 or 88.8 bushels per acre, a big production number. It's likely to come down this Friday, but question is how much will it come down? Well, you know, USDA is going to cut it significantly. Trade is expecting about 2.5 bushel per acre cut, which I think is pretty realistic. And just we saw the highest yield numbers that we're going to see this fall in last month's report. Now we're trying to look ahead to this month's report. Maybe it gives us a little bit more direction, but you know, maybe some harvest pressure is hitting the market as well.
What number are you folks trading?
Yeah, we think they're going to come in around 186. Average trade guess is like 185.7. You know, we're trying to guess where the USDA is going to say in this month's report. I do think they could come down as we go through the fall and into the winter months even further than 186. I don't know that a lot of these yields that we're hearing are going to match up with what the USDA originally had factored in. I think if you have some disease issues, it's really a big yield drag this year. Even if you didn't, the USDA may have just been way over optimistic trying to anticipate these yields. So 186 is what we're looking for a print on Friday, and likely to come down even further than that. So we are hearing a lot of, you know, harvesting going on, maybe like in the Council Bluffs area, some product being harvested and moved. Basis levels are really widening out, so we know there is some product that's hitting some of these elevators, and so that's really hurt our basis levels. And that basis is going to have to improve as we go through the fall and into the winter months. So storage will really be a key part of marketing for this calendar year.
Brian, we're going to get back with you about an hour and 10 minutes to talk about some targets. In the meantime, how can we find out more what you folks do there at Midwest Market Solutions?
Yeah, you can reach us directly, 417-501-5132. You can go to our website, MidwestMarketSolutions.com, where we have a list of our 5 offices around the Midwest and brokers there waiting to help you out.
All right, Brian, we'll talk to you again about an hour and 10 minutes and get some targets moving forward.
Your number one preset, the voice of Iowa, News Radio 1040, WHO. Food, fuel, and fun. We speak farm. This is The Big Show.
Well, it's 12:55 here on The Big Show clock, winding down the trade day here over the next half hour. Nathan's going to close the markets out. By the way, you've been hearing the holiday vacations ad for the trip that Ann and I are going to be hosting on Route 66 for October. That's October of next year. And people have asked, why are you advertising it so early? Well, that trip fills up quickly. It's only the second year for the trip, and it fills up so fast that if it sits around on the shelf, it has trouble getting the folks in to it from the Big Show. So we want to make sure you get in on the trip if you're wanting to take the Route 66 trip. The reason it fills up fast is it's a popular trip. It's a fun trip, and you'll be going along one of the nation's most famous highway at the time, right, Route 66. Take a look at the Holiday Vacations website and the keyword WHO, and you'll pull up that particular trip. But there are bookings already made on it. There is some room left, I understand, but you need to call here very, very shortly because as soon as some other folks start getting wind of it, it will fill up very quickly. So we're holding some places open for Big Show listeners, and we want you to be one of those listeners. You or your friends, give them a call and say, hey, we got a great trip planned for October of next year along Route 66. Brian Hoops on the telephone line with us right now, Midwest Market Solutions, rounding out the Big Show. Brian, I asked you before what Midwest Market Solutions numbers were they were trading for size of corn and soybean crop. The reason I did is because USDA report is coming out on Friday that everyone's kind of looking forward to right now. What do you think you'll see then?
Well, yeah, I do think we're going to see a small yield reduction, Bob. I think they could come down to like that 186, a 2.5 bushel reduction or so. I think that's very reasonable expectation, and they may start to pull it back down even more than that if they get some actual harvest data that suggests maybe they overestimated that crop yield. That's kind of what they did last year. They put a really big number out there in August, and then we just kind of went through the rest of the harvest time frame and saw yields coming in a little bit less, and they lowered those numbers until we got into January. Soybeans, again, they're at 53.5 or so, 53.3, probably going to be closer to 53 on Friday is my guess, and maybe those yields are going to be a little optimistic because of the dryness that we had to end this growing season. So markets are real quiet. They haven't broken out of that 3-cent range that we've had in corn. Soybeans have an 8-cent range, and that's including last night's trade. So volumes are very poor. Today's volumes, I think, the worst since 2023, going all the way back a couple of years now. And nobody really wants to take on a lot of new, fresh positions ahead of a USDA report, and with harvests just starting to pick up the pace here.
Well, we'll have to keep our eye out for that coming up on Friday. Let's take a look at something that is moving, and that's live cattle futures moving up again after a beating yesterday. The market moving higher. Kind of, I guess, maybe a little bit of a get-even day today?
Yeah, we saw a big sell-off yesterday. Probably just kind of snowballed on itself with cash trade a little bit softer, but supplies are tight. Cattle on feed report a week from this Friday. It's going to be another bullish report showing very tight supplies, and that's going to keep live cattle well supported.
Brian, folks want to talk markets with you. How can they do that?
You can reach me 417-501-5132. You can also follow us on Twitter, Midwest Markets, and at Brian Hoops.